It's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else is going to be one of the most watched basketball segments in Ball and Food. Title Pie right now. Season comes to a close. Teams are looking for that special ingredient and the recipe for success. Well, we met you halfway. It's time for the most delicious segment in all of sports television. It's Title Pie. Bon appetit.
Oh, thank you. No pie. You have no pie today?
I didn't get a pie today. We
that's-
thought that it was a little bit ridiculous, even
Okay.
for me.
Well, that's fine. Or just, the budget got spent up on Wildes hair products. All right, first! Who's at 0%ers? It's the same group as last time.
Oh, man.
Sorry. Listen, hey, the Knicks, you almost got up to 1%, but then 57 from Randall wasn't enough for you to beat the Timberwolves. Killing the Lakers, by the way. Can one of these teams from the East beat one of these teams from the West? It's killing the Lakers. Warriors, we already know it. Brew, are you going to argue with me about the Warriors again, or are we just going to move on?
No, I'm going to argue.
Okay.
I'll be brief, but this is disrespectful. How can you disrespect the defending champions, four-time champions, when their superstar is still in his prime? Give them 1%. Give them 2%. I'm not saying they have to be atop the pie chart, but you should respect them more, Nick. I'm just letting you know.
What?
You think they can't flip the switch? They were 11-12 last year after the All-Star break. And what happened? They won the championship.
Yeah.
Yes, they flipped the switch. So
that
I'm
is
just
11-12 after the All-Star break is not the same as what they've been this season, which is 500 all year. But you know what? I should be more respectful to the Warriors because they are so respectful when they go visit someone else's house. They make sure not to play too well, not to beat them, make sure those people have a great time. 1%.
He's so proud of that.
Same as last year,
Working on
or
that.
last week, pardon me, the Cavs. Here's why the Cavs have 1% chance. If something were to happen to one of Milwaukee's big three, could in that circumstance the Cavs beat them in round two? Maybe.
Jess Middleton, you think?
Well, just any one of the big three. If something were to happen to one of them.
Really?
And then Boston and Philly play a 7-game war on the other side of the bracket, give them 1%.
Ooh.
I like that.
Up a bit, 2%. Miami Heat. Why are they up? They could avoid the play-in. They could get Boston in round one. By the way, Spoelstra against Joe Mazzulla, mismatch.
Wow.
Watch it? Yeah, we'll talk about Boston in a bit. But when you've lost Bill Simmons, you maybe have lost everyone. 3% flat, the Mavs. Luka coming.
3%.
3%, same as last week. They beat the Lakers, but they lose to the Grizzlies. Luka's still not back.
I'm gonna have something to say.
The only you have something to say? All right, then I'll wait to give the full Mavs explanation. Ticking down. Denver Nuggets. 2 more losses since we last did Title Pie. Jokic is no longer, I don't even think he's going to finish first or second
You don't think
in
second
MVP
now?
voting. I think Giannis will finish second.
Ooh.
And round one, they're likely either playing Golden State, Dallas, or the Lakers. I think Brew would pick any of those three over the Denver Nuggets. Maybe not Dallas just because Brew doesn't like me. Celtics ticking down as well, down to 5%. A terrible Utah loss where Grant Williams decides to take the final shot. As I mentioned, you listen to your buddy Bill Simmons' podcast lately. He wants Brad Stevens to pull a Pat Riley and take over the coaching. Come down from the front office and tell Joey Ims, you're out of here. It ain't great in Boston right now. And by the way, have you read one of the many Jaylen Brown profiles where he makes it very clear he can't wait to leave? 6% ticking up. Clippers. About to catch Phoenix for the 4 seed. That is valuable. They're playing very well. They are not finishing games with Russ, which is a good start to not playing Russ at all. And Kawhi's been outstanding.
Sorry.
Up. What are we going to light, Wildes?
I'm going to light the beam.
Nope, that's not it.
Oh.
We're going to light the damn beam. I got to watch the Kings live and in person at Barclays last week. A little chanting of Light the Beam from the Brooklyn crowd. Wow. They've won 3 of 4. Could have been 4 in a row if not for Walker Kessler's great defensive play on Domantas Sabonis. Fox has been unreal in the clutch. Down 8% Lakers. That awful Dallas loss cost you 2 percentage points. You know why? Because you're now more likely to be in the play-in, not to get the 6 seed. Suns down to 9%. 5 seed. Kawhi, Paul George, round 1 with KD having played 90 total minutes with the Suns.
Not great.
That ain't great. If they were to get past that series, then I think they're in good shape. But they could be bounced in round 1, particularly if they don't have home court for it. Memphis, way up to 11%. Because Ja's back now. They won 6 of their last 7 without Ja. Now they're getting him back. They do have some playoff experience. Dylan Brooks is really feeling himself in a positive way.
I like them.
Bane and Triple J are playing well. And if Ja's healthy from a mental health perspective, from a personal perspective, they are dangerous. And then we can reveal these two kind of in unison. 2 teams tied at the top. Philly up a bit. Milwaukee down a bit. Eastern Conference Finals this year look like the NBA Finals.
Come on.
Philly, the 2 best teams in basketball are Milwaukee and Philly, and it's undeniable. Philly has been the best team in the league since their 12-12 start in every category, record, net rating. They have a guy who's playing better than anyone in the league, and then there's Milwaukee with the best player in the league. So those 2 teams are a coin flip to me. That is the latest edition, Broussard. Antoine of Title Pod.
I don't like where you got Milwaukee at, man.
Thank you.
They should be lower or higher?
Milwaukee's got a legitimate chance to like.
Yeah, they're tied
You saying
for first.
Philly shouldn't be tied with them?
They should be by themselves. Milwaukee
Thank
to
you.
me is the clear-cut favorite.
Own pie.
Tell me why.
I think Giannis. I think they're deep enough. I think he's playing great basketball. Holiday. I just like where they at. They've been there before. They're a team that Middleton can get going. You know, he's starting to, slowly but surely started picking him. And they're deep enough too. You know, they've done a good job of adding pieces to this roster. I like Milwaukee to make a really, really deep run.
So let me make the case for Philly in this regard. Okay. They have played 3 times this year. When one of the games Harden didn't play, but Giannis played in all of them, Embiid's played in all of them. Philly's 2-1. The 1 loss was the second game of the year, a 2-point loss. They play again later. So Philly does have a chance, outside chance, last night's loss hurts them, of catching them for the 1 seed because they would have the tiebreaker if they beat them when they play. They would have been 3 out of 4. And I do think that with Philly's offense, Brook Lopez has been awesome this year. I think Embiid can present real problems for him because he can draw him away from the basket again.
True.
I think Giannis is the hands-down best player in the league. Embiid's had the better season, but it's close. Giannis the best player. I think Philly, it looks very scary for Milwaukee right now.
Philly, look, they're having a nice season. We all know the elephants in the room. Harden and Doc.
Doc, sure.
Doc hadn't been deep in the playoffs in a while. So I do agree with Twan that Milwaukee should be the favorite. You can. I know Philly's your pick, so you can have them second. But here's a couple bones to pick. I like Memphis. Before the Ja thing, I may have thought they would win the West. I want to see how this could be a positive. I liked last night that his body language on the bench was his normal celebratory self.
Yep,
that's true.
If he comes back like that guy, that could be.
Can I ask you a question about Memphis real quick? But you've said the questions about the entire West. Is it fair right now to say Memphis is the favorites in the West?
Look, you can ask 10 different people, you might get 7 different answers as to who's the favorite in the West. I still, because there are questions about everybody, I think you would have to say Phoenix.
Okay.
Just because, look, you can say Durant's not going to play enough with him, but LeBron's coming back like Ja's been, you know what I mean? Like there's so many questions. So I would just go with Phoenix ahead of Memphis. But I got to ask you, Nick, because you're always coming for my throat about the Warriors. Them Brews got 8 teams in the West and 8 teams in the East.
You're Mr.
How in the world is your pick to win the Western Conference? How in the world is your team the pick to win the Western Conference? The Mavericks got 3%.
Wild.
I see Memphis ahead of them. I see Phoenix ahead of them. The Lakers, Sacramento. What?
Mr. Consistency.
Mr. Consistency. They look like they're what are they? The 6th pick in the West?
Wiles,
You're
can I ask you a
bored.
question?
Yeah, of course.
What's this segment called?
Well, it's called Title Pie.
What is it not called? It is not called Knicks Picks.
Knicks
Picks.
No, but
This
they
is
should be
hold on.
second.
Different
It's called Knicks Title Pie.
Yeah, Title Pie. I am trying to give the public what I believe to be the fair current gambling odds so right now, because of the situation the Mavericks are in with Luka being injured, you can't give them more than a 3% chance. What is this?
I hope it's an olive branch, because that's what he's asking.
What do you
it's
have?
not an olive
begging
branch.
for.
Well, we did something special, although we didn't have a pie to start the segment. our director Rick did go literally to the hardware store and make a special light the beam.
No.
Yeah, we did. So
What is this?
This
You
is
can
gonna
light
light
the
up?
beam. Go ahead.
I can light the beam?
You know, it's a little bit. It's not.
What do we do?
It's not perfect.
I don't understand what we're
You're just
doing.
supposed to press it. You know, it's we're,
It's called a
we're
flashlight.
halfway there on a
Okay.
lot of stuff. Here's the problem,
Yeah.
though. You've got family in Sacramento.
Oh, this is. Give me that.
Go ahead.
I'll get this right the way it was supposed to be. I do have family and stuff.
You have family in
Remind me.
Sacramento, and a lot of times Brew's picks are, let's say, not biased by where he's from, but it's a little bit of extra sauce on it, let's say.
Yeah.
When you say, well, I'm
I
from
got a
here,
lot of connections.
you know Sacramento does not necessarily have a, 10% chance of winning?
7%. If
They
they're
don't
going
have
to critique it, try to get the
They
percentages
don't
right.
play
They're not gonna
defense,
win this.
and you know it.
Okay. They have,
So how can they win
It should be
when
zero.
they're 25th defensive ranking, 29th field goal percentage, 26% three?
Wildes. I have a
Good
question
chart.
for you.
Yeah.
I like that
Who
graphic.
right now in the Western Conference?
Denver.
Is oh no.
I don't know. They're the best team in my pick early on. I
Okay.
picked two teams.
You-
They're both in first
You
place.
picked, and to Wild's credit, at least he picked two teams both at the beginning of the year. Unlike Brew, who saves one of those picks for
No.
midseason, and then another one
My
for the.
team, the Nets tank.
Listen, you are not going to respect
And
the
I'm still with the
Kings.
Warriors.
That's fine.
I'm not respect.
I'm
I'm
not
rooting for. I
picking
want
the
to play a little
Kings to win
defense.
the
They
title.
should have a zero. They should be with that zero.
Oh, that's-
you should
that's
exchange them in the
outrageous.
Warriors.
That's
How about that?
outrageous.
They got a
They have-
chance to win it all. You saw the
They
rankings.
have two All-NBA level guys. They have been De'Aaron Fox has been the most
They
clutch
just
player
lost
in the
to
league.
a team not even
They-
trying to win.
Brew.
Utah.
They would
Brew.
play. They,
Utah is trying to win.
Are
What
they?
do you mean?
Nah, I'm not
I
sure.
think Danny
The
Ainge is
players are
upset
trying
with
to
that.
win. This is a terror. You're disrespect.
Sacramento, Golden State.
Sacramento has been the best team in California this year. They have
Warriors
been.
lead the series 2-1 already.
Thank you.
That's
Bob.
great.
I think they won one on the road too.
No, they didn't do that, but thank you. they lost in Sacramento. They did. They did.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.